guys, it's byscreenside and welcome back to a new speed build. Today we are building a spa, and the reason I decided to build a spa is because I ran a little poll on Twitter and asked what type of community lot people would most like to see next, and it overwhelmingly spa won. Of course, there were only a total of 6 votes, so this is why you guys need to follow me on Twitter. Just saying, plug. Um, but it's actually partially my fault because I meant to run the poll a little bit longer. I accidentally set it to 24. Well, I didn't accidentally set it to 24. Like that's the default, and I didn't change it 24 hours. So, yeah, I didn't get a huge response or anything, but that was the choice, and so that is why I chose to build a spa. Um, I had some little bit of difficulty figuring out where in the world I wanted to do it and what type of theme I wanted it to have and all that. But I eventually settled on Oasis Springs to make it a part of sort of my Oasis Springs makeover series. So that's something I'm just sort of occasionally throwing in when I do builds in Oasis Springs. I'm trying to keep them somewhat thematically similar so that in once I'm eventually plan to build something for every lot in Oasis Springs. Right now I've maybe done 3 or 4. I think this would make the fourth. So this one I kept, it's called Golden Gleam Spa because of the color scheme is very gold and aqua, and I did it in such a way, or the color scheme that I chose and the design of it, I did it as you can kind of see next door is a bar build that I did for my 500 subscriber thank you video, and it's called the Creaky Tiki. So if you haven't seen that video, it's actually a pretty quick little build video, just a little fun kind of thing that I did. So I kind of kept it like thematically similar somewhat to the Creaky Tiki, but I used a lot of the city living content that has sort of like a Moroccan influence. So you'll see that throughout the build. There's quite a bit of city living, perfect patio, and of course spa day. Those are like the sort of the main three that you really need to run this build. I didn't. There's a little bit of movie hangout stuff, and there's a little bit of the vampires pack in the texture that I used on the ground, but that's just one item, I think, from the Vampires pack. So if you don't have that pack, you should be fine. It'll just replace it with like some other concrete texture. Oh, yes, and some of the flooring from but I think most of the flooring actually winds up being city living. So yeah, some textures from the Vampires pack. But if you don't have that pack, you should be fine replacing it with some other wood textures. It shouldn't be a huge deal if you don't have it and the concrete texture. So yeah, I hope you guys liked my little cinematic there at the beginning. I thought it would be cute to do an at like a commercial for the spa at the beginning of the build. I tried to be funny. I hope it worked out. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that would be fun to do. Sometimes I see like some folks do some cinematics and things before they actually show the build itself, and it's not something I'll probably do every time, but for this time, for fun, maybe every once in a while I could do something like that. Thinking maybe like for community lots, it would be fun to do like ads for them sometimes. I don't know. It was just a little bit of fun, just a little bit of something different. Um, I did have to edit this video down quite a bit though, which I probably wouldn't had to do as much if I hadn't done that little ad. But what? It was fun. Uh, but still, it was a very long build. I spent a lot of time doing this, and so it would have been either I would have had to split it in 2 parts, or you would have had to have had quite a long sit through to see the whole thing from start to finish. So it's cut down, but a lot of it's still in there. So you're not going to be missing on a lot. And of course, I've got screenshots at the end, of course, so you can see what the final interior looks like. And the color scheme and the decor change quite a lot. So, like what I'm doing now, for example, later it's going to be different. So, it really doesn't all come together until the very end. I change quite a few bits and pieces throughout the build, just to because I'd try something and then later on I would come up with something that I liked a little bit better in a different area of the spa, and then just to try to carry through the theme and sort of like the quote unquote branding of the spa, I would go back and put the new thing that I thought of back in the areas that I'd already built. So yeah, it kind of goes through several iterations as we go along. So if you see something in the beginning and you're like, man, I don't like that, it might change later. So, or it might not. You might just, be like, oh, she never changed it. Hopefully not. Hopefully you like it. I use these windows from City Living, the sort of the ones with the several panels in them. I use them throughout the build as both windows and dividers. I love those windows. The window that you can see in the center there. Those are probably currently my favorite windows in the game. I just love them. And I think that they are really nice for the since we have the beautiful lighting in the game, which gosh, we probably had that lighting update's probably been almost a year now, and I still like am thankful for it all the time. It's so great, especially if you're somebody who like me who loves to take a lot of screenshots. Ah, awesome. Speaking of screenshots, if you caught my last speed build, I was lamenting the fact that I had lost my screenshots, and I just kind of was looking through like all my sim screenshots, and I couldn't find like a huge bunch of them, and I found them. Yay. Turns out I was just having like a completely dumb moment. I have My computer has like its regular hard drive, and then I have like another terabyte hard drive that's like installed as the D drive on the computer, and then I have an external hard drive, and I keep the external hard drive plugged in all the time, but sometimes like my computer just forgets that it's there. I don't know why. And so the day that I was looking for those screenshots, I was looking on my D drive thinking it was my external hard drive, like a dummy. So yeah, crisis averted. I found my screenshots. We're all happy again. And the reason I was looking for those screenshots, by the way, is I am doing a new build series. It's called Pixel Properties, and the idea is to have you guys send me screenshots from your game, or screenshots that you edited and put together, like glam shots of your Sims, or basically any screenshots from The Sims 4, and that I'm going to use the screenshots as inspiration to build. So I've gotten some submissions for that, and that is going to be up soon. My first episode of that is going to be up soon. But if you are interested in sending me screenshots so that I can build with your screenshots, I would love to hear. I'd love to see them. Super excited to get more. And the three ways that you can submit those to me are via email, byscreenside@gmail.com, or via Twitter. Everything I do, all my social media is under the same user ID, which is byscreenside. So here on YouTube, on Twitter, on Tumblr, and at Gmail. So if you guys want to send me some via Twitter or via Tumblr. I would love to see them. And please also, if you do send me screenshots, just let me know if there's anything in particular you want me to shout out in the video, like your what your Twitter or your Tumblr or your channel or your Instagram or any of that. So definitely looking for, some more screenshots. I have some and I have enough to get started, but I definitely want to see more. So if you that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then I'm going to put all that information down in the description so that you can send me your goodies. Yes. Yes. So, if you're watching this video in the future, this week the bowling night stuff pack came out, and I have not put up any review videos, or so far I haven't done any bowling builds, mainly because with the review videos, they take quite a while, and by the time I'm able to get the packs, usually there are people who've already gotten early access to it and have posted their reviews and their builds, and you're already inundated with pack related content. So that's part of the reason that I haven't done anything thus far. And the other part of the reason is just that the pack itself, I don't really have a whole lot to say, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to express, but I feel very 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 50-50 on this pack. The Create a Sim content for the most part is really great, but there's not a huge amount of it. And the gameplay aspect of it, if I'm being perfectly honest, I was a little disappointed by. Firstly, bowling is probably not anything that I would have ever thought of for a pack, just the topic of a pack. So, and I know I've heard a lot of other people share that opinion as well, like of all the things that we could use in The Sims. Bowling is not one of the things that springs to mind for me. And, but I mean, some of the content that comes in it is absolutely fabulous. So, the hair, for example, the short curly female hair, I swear that I love that so much. If that hair was a person, I would stalk it and I would call it day and night, and if it eventually would like call the police on me. It would call the police on me and it would get a restraining order, and then I would violate the restraining order, and then I would go to jail, and then I would write that hair letters from jail like, I love you, I'm coming for you. Like that's how much I love that hair, ridiculously much. The updo, it's okay for me. I'm not really into the updo that much. I think we have better ones in the game, and it's just a little bit beehivey, in my opinion. Quick actual note about the build here. I used these like logos to make like a design in the pool, and I thought it actually turned out really cool and looks pretty interesting from above. So that's what I'm doing here. That's why I'm putting these down the way that I am. I just kind of wanted to make a cool. That's just kind of one of my things as a builder. Whenever I do a pool, I try to do something different and interesting with it in the bottom. See, because I think it does look pretty nifty when you look at it from above. Anyway, back to the bowling stuff. I just wanted to mention that. Yeah, so the short hair, I adore it. The updo, it's so-so. I like the male hair that came with the pack. I don't think there's much for kids. I didn't even really look because I think it was just a couple of bowling shirts, which, I probably won't use very much to be honest. And let's see. So, but the bowling gameplay itself, with it being a bowling focused pack, I yeah, I can't say I was I have to say I was kind of disappointed by that as well because Bowling is something that I've done quite a bit because I'm from a really small town. I've mentioned this quite a few times, and there's not a whole lot to do. I never had a whole lot to do necessarily growing up with friends, so bowling is something we kind of did a lot because there really wasn't that much else to do. And so, the whole thing for bowling for me, like it would be a very social thing, and the Sims don't socialize while they're bowling. They can't, it's like that's the one, they can't multitask that action, so at least that I noticed. So, and they don't bowl two frames either. There's no real score keeping. So it doesn't even make me feel like my Sims are bowling because when I think of bowling personally, I think of, talking smack with my friends, trying to psych them out while they're playing and just, chatting and everything during that. And, you pick your ball and your your shoes, and I haven't played the skill that much, I'll be honest. I have to put that out there. Like I really only did this for a few minutes, so this might be snap judgment. If you don't agree with me, like that's perfectly okay. Because my it's just based on a very short impression right now. I'm just giving you because I didn't have a lot of time this week to focus on it, and I mean I did a little bit of it, but it just yeah, I was underwhelmed by the gameplay aspect of it. But the create a sim content looks really good. I really like some of the female tops that we got as well, and the build and buy content is very cool. The and every I I think you guys probably have heard mid-century modern like 1,000 times if you watch a lot of YouTube videos. Or a lot of Sims YouTube videos. So the mid-century modern style is not personally a favorite of mine, but a lot of people really like it, and that's cool. I'm not saying I don't like the content or anything. I think I'm really going to get a lot of use out of it. I really like it. It's just not, for me personally, my favorite style in the world, but it's hardly my least favorite. So, and as a builder, um, I'm absolutely always excited to get new content, build and buy content, because I don't use custom content in my builds. And so I'm always, desperate for new build and buy content. I do use Create a Sim custom content, so when we get new casts, it's it's exciting, but it's not even a quarter as exciting for me as when we get new build and buy because I don't use any custom content. So I'm thrilled with the build and buy content that we got. I kind of wish there had been a little bit more general items and not bowling specific items, but still, I mean, the pack's great. Um, I would probably catch it on sale if I were not, if I didn't want the content to go ahead and build with for this channel. But all in all, I mean, it's good. It's I really just wish the bowling part of it had been more realistic to what actual bowling is like. I do really love the moonlight bowling thing though that they added in. I think that looks really cool, and that is very realistic to my experiences with bowling. Um, there was this place that it's shut down now, but in my hometown they had a place that they built to try and be like a teen hangout, which is kind of funny that we got that new lot trait, the teen hangout lot trait, because in my hometown, somebody tried to build this place that was very teen focused. It was meant to be like a teen hangout, and it was primarily bowling. There were some other things to do there, but they're not still open, so obviously it didn't work out that great. But yeah, that they had that sort of like moonlight cosmic bowling thing. So that's really realistic. Thumbs up on that, and I think it looks really cool. So I like that aspect of it really well. In the final build, by the way, of this, I did kind of go through and manipulate the light colors in different rooms. Lighting is something that I spent a good amount of time focusing on in this build instead of just popping in ceiling lights and calling it a day. Because this is a spa and I wanted it to be very relaxed atmosphere. I used a lot of candle lighting and kept out the ceiling lights in the areas like the massage rooms and sort of the general areas. So the areas that have a lot of windows are the yoga studio and the gym because I would see those as being places where you would want like energizing light, you know, a lot of sunshine, but the I kept the massage areas like more cool and low key, and the lighting is very low in those places. And I usually like a lot of lighting in builds. I like because especially in The Sims when there's not good lighting and you try to I always try to keep in mind like screenshot taking. Um, and when there's not a lot of lighting, you don't get like good like light on their face. I'm so good at explaining things. Yeah, but I just try to keep lighting in mind, and when low lighting, like it doesn't really make for good screenshots or, necessarily aesthetically pleasing look in the game, which I think that's important to a lot of people who play The Sims. Um, so I I tried to keep that in mind, but I also did want it to be realistic in the sense of keeping the lighting kind of low and chill in the areas where you would want it to be. This room that I'm currently building is I would think of as like the couples massage room. So there are three massage rooms, two are upstairs, and then this is what I would consider to be the couples massage room. So you can go in with your partner and get a massage at the same time and, just sort of, enjoy the relaxing spa atmosphere together and you kind of get a little bit of a romantic massage. I don't think that's an actual option. Maybe, you can get a fertility massage while your partner gets uh, a different massage of some kind. And I don't know that one of those aromatherapy massages probably comes away with like a flirty moodlet. So yeah, your partner can get that, and while your female sim gets a fertility massage, uh, then they can go home and try for baby on ley line and make 1,000 sim babies. Won't that be fun? See, these are the things that I think about. This is what I try to do for you guys. Get you twins and triplets. Actually, that's not a terrible idea. I still have not gotten triplets in The Sims 4 ever, and it's really getting like when's it gonna happen, man? I only ever had one set of triplets in The Sims 3, and both of the Sims in that case, like the mother and father Sim, um, both of them had the fertility trait, and I don't find that the fertility trait does anything in The Sims 4. Tell me if you disagree, but I have had several Sims get that trait and never triplets, never once. In fact, it doesn't even seem to make twins happen more frequently for them. I've had twins from Sims that don't have that trait more frequently than Sims that do have that trait. So, yeah, that's kind of like my little fertility rant about the Sims. And I've not, after having a Sim get a fertility massage, gotten triplets, obviously, ever because I've never had them. So, that's, my sad story for today. These rooms up here that I'm currently working on, are, where your Sims can go take a mud bath. And I decided to throw the showers into these rooms. And I have the big picture windows, but I take them out and replace them with single tile windows because obviously you don't want to step out of the shower and have everybody, look at your naked body right after, like, somebody sitting out in the pool and being like, look, I see Mortimer Goss' naked body, and I didn't want to. So yeah, I just, I traded those out with single pane windows. Not that the Sims would notice, but still, I know that kind of thing is like an immersion killer for some people. Like that doesn't bother me personally. I've talked about this in other build videos, but it doesn't bother me if I think that my Sims are being exhibitionists. But I know some people that does bug them, so I try to keep that in mind as much as I can. Yeah. So right now I am working on the gym, and the gym is I, it, it's one of my favorite rooms in the build. Um, I went with more of a cool toned. This is the only, well, one of the few rooms. There are basement rooms with the sauna and things that are cool toned as well, but this is the only above ground room that has more of a cool toned color. And I just mean like cool colors as in blues and aquas and grays instead of like golds and oranges and warm colors. Not cool as in, hey man, that's cool. Like, no, just like cool, cool toned colors. And I think it's nice. It's, kind of like a different vibe than the rest of the spa because I wanted to include a gym, just kind of so that your Sims can one stop shop as much as possible because loading screens are a pain. I 100% try and make things as useful as possible, and at least with gym lots, Sims will utilize the fitness equipment. So I wanted to make sure that I included a gym, and yeah, I think it's kind of cool because your Sims walk in and they get like a brighter vibe, like a different color, something like a little bit cool and refreshing. So, and of course, there's a big TV so that they can watch TV as they run on the treadmill. I really love that was taken into consideration in the game that Sims can watch TV and run on the treadmill or use the weight machine at the same time because it's a really awesome way to multitask skills. That they could watch the cooking channel or the comedy channel, and other like skill building. Well, I guess in like they have the music channel as well. I was trying to think of any channels where you can build skills, and I think those are the primary ones or at least those are the ones that I'm thinking of right now. The comedy channel and the cooking channel, and there's a music channel. Yeah, and this is the yoga studio, which I've just kind of like worked on throughout different times of the build. I was just trying to, at this point, flesh out the upper level and give more detail. I didn't want there to be any huge open or empty areas in the build. So I put in quite a few seating areas and different places that your Sims can like sit and have fizzy spa drinks and chit chat and whatnot. With their I love to especially like get a group of Sims together and go to the spa and have like a girls' day. Or I it's because I primarily play female Sims, and I think that's just because I'm a female. I have kind of a weird thing where I play a lot of female Sims, but when I do play a male Sim, I tend to play them for longer periods of time and get more attached to them. So that's something actually I would love to hear what your feedback or experiences on that. Do you tend to play Sims that are, the same gender as you are, or the same, uh, you know, identity as you are, or do you like to mix it up and play the opposite gender? Because my experience has always been that I usually play female Sims, but then when I do play a male Sim, I really, I don't want to say like pamper them. That's not really the right word, but I tend to play them longer and um, spend more time. In fact, if I want to, play a game for a longer period of time, um, I will start with a male sim because with female sims, there's always a temptation to go ahead and start, or to get them pregnant and to go ahead and start a family with them. And after I get, so many family members, I honestly, that's when I start to like kind of lose attention with the game. Not always, but a lot of times, like once there's too many family members and there's a lot of Sims to deal with in the household, I get less and less tempted to go play that household. So, if I want to like really play a game for a long time, I'll start with a male Sim, and that way I'm not as tempted to try for a baby as soon. That's kind of strange, but I get to have more of an experience of that sim having a lot of different life experiences before starting a family versus with a female, I can't help it. I want to try for a baby right away. But yeah, throughout the build, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. I think maybe started to, but the lighting, I adjusted the lighting in a lot of the different rooms. And in the restrooms, I put in, because I know it can be difficult when you're playing with the walls down and there's a boys' room and a girls' room, which one's which, and you send your sim to the wrong one and they can't get in, and it's irritating. So I put in like a pink light and a blue light in both the bathrooms, so you guys would know without having to throw the walls back up and check the icon on the door, just as a convenience thing. And so this is I built the all this in one night, and then this is just like the last little bit here that I just built last night just to finish things off. So this is just an interior indoor pool, and I just put these like lotus lights around it just to give it kind of like a pretty dark candle thing. I don't know. Words. But yeah, so this is almost the end of the build. We're almost getting ready to come up on the screenshots. Woo, yes. But yeah, when I was initially recording it, I just ran out of disk space. That's how long I worked on this. That's how long it took. Um, I recorded because these files are huge when you're recording them, and I try to keep the frame rate really high so that the quality is really high on the final video, but they take up a lot of space, and I recorded so much footage that I just ran out of disk space. So there it kind of cuts off when I was building the like little break room downstairs where your Sims can go get snacks in case they get hungry while they're at the spa. So you can like grab a quick meal or go to the vending machine. So, your Sim should be able to spend a whole day at the spa and take care of their hunger needs or any needs that they have while they're visiting. So, yeah. So we're getting ready to come up on the screenshots now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!